and I figured I'd make him something that he can grow into and that would last a lifetime. So I went online and I found a tutorial on how to do a pedal box, and I will link that in the description below for you so that you can enjoy the same tutorial that I'm going to be basing this project on. Today right now I'm just going to go over some of the materials that are going to be required for this build. One of the first things you're going to need is a piece of cabinet grade 3/4 inch board. I opted for birch, that's what they called for. So this I got at Home Depot. It's 48 by 36 cabinet grade birch. The overall box, you can see here, I've got it outlined. The dimensions are going to be 24 inches long by 16 inches wide. On here you'll also see that I took the time to measure out where the slots are going to be cut into the top of the board so that we can run his pedals to the power source that's going to be mounted under the top. More on that later. In the tutorial, they recommend using a 1/2 inch straight router bit to cut these slots out. However, I don't have a router on hand, so I'm going to use a jigsaw to cut these out and maybe round it out with a Dremel tool. So, with that said, I wanted to make this look rock and roll, grungy type overall finish. On the tutorial, the person that put together the tutorial opted for some stain. I'm going to do it a little bit different. We'll cover that in a later video. So what I'm going to do is take this out to the workshop, cut my dimensions so that I have the actual top at 24 by 16. If you're wondering about the little logo on the bottom, that's just a picture I took off a backroom wall of a piece of graffiti that I thought would look really good as a logo, and then I put Bad Dad as the company name because he was upset for me for a while, so I thought Bad Dad Productions was kind of cool, especially when I'm doing something that he really is going to enjoy. I think it was kind of ironic. So anyway, that was just a little bit on that. So I'm using that birch for the top. In the tutorial they called for oak, 1/2 inch oak. This is a piece of redwood that I opted for. It's 1/2 inch, and I believe it's actually 0.625 or something of that nature. And in retrospect, so the redwood's actually going to be the frame for the top of the box. It's going to be the back, the sides, and the front that the top of the box is going to sit on. So that's what I did with that. In hindsight, I could have probably made the sides, the bottom, the top, everything out of this one piece of board stock. However, by using the thinner redwood, it will make this considerably lighter because this 3/4 inch is pretty heavy as is, but it's going to give them the stability to be able to push on those pedals and last over time and hold together with the screws that I'm going to be putting in it. So I'm going to take this out to the workshop, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. And then I'm going to come back and we can talk about that a little bit as we go through this video. Alright, so here we are. We've got our slots cut that we talked about earlier for the cables to go up through the board from the power source below it. Now, in the tutorial that I watched, they just used a simple stain. I want something a little more rock and roll, grunge. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a char on this. My buddy Mike Stokes talked to me about this, and he's got a YouTube channel you want to check out called Lush Planets, and he does a lot of really cool stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a propane weed torch, and we're going to apply flame to this and char that, and it'll give it a really nice look, and it has a lot of other functional purposes. If you're doing construction with posts and stuff, it adds longevity. Put some tar over the top of the char, and it allows your post long. It also offers some fire retardancy from my understanding because it's already burnt. So anyway, without further ado, let's fire this thing up and see what it looks like. Mike, it's left. Lush Planet's what?
Design build.
Design build. That's the part I was leaving out. Okay, I'll clarify that.
There's no other Lush Planets though.
Hello, this is part 2 of the guitar pedal build for the board. Guitar pedal board build, I guess you would say. And yesterday I let you know that I was going to be applying a char to the wood that I'm using. The redwood sides as well as the birch top to give it a grungy, kind of rocky, fire burnt look. I was very pleased with the way it came out, more so with the redwood than with the birch top. So without further ado, let's go over a little bit of that. This is the pedal board top that we discussed yesterday with the 7-inch slots cut out. 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. The power supply will be sitting on underneath of the board approximately about here for the cords to come up and plug into each pedal. This is the cabinet grade birch that I purchased. I wasn't really happy with this piece particularly when I did the char on it. There was a thin layer on the top that once I charred it, it kind of flaked off and I had to apply an additional char to it. However, most of this portion will be covered up by the pedals themselves, along with 2 inches of Velcro strips that are going to be on the top and the bottom of each slot for the pedals to adhere to. So this isn't quite as cosmetically important as, let's say, the sides of the board are going to be. I did not charge the back, as you can see, and I will be applying some more linseed oil. So what I did is, once I've charred this, today I took a green scratch pad and went with the grain, scratched off a lot of the thicker char, ashes to come off, wiped that down, and then applied linseed oil to add longevity. Yesterday I couldn't touch this stuff without getting black soot all over my hands, so I had to go and figure out a different kind of few options that I could seal the material to keep it waterproof over time, and also you didn't want to have to be touching this and then transferring black charcoal to your hands. So that worked out well. So this isn't quite as cosmetically important as, let's say, the sides of the board are going to be. I did not charge the back, as you can see, and I will be applying some more linseed oil. So what I did is, once I've charred, and then transferring black charcoal to your hands. So that worked out well. The linseed worked out well. This is the 4-inch piece. This is redwood. As you can see, it has a much nicer patina finish than the top did. No flakes. And I also did the same thing. I just took the green Brillo pad, scratched off the top surface, and applied linseed oil. This particular board, I did the back, the sides, and everything. And then I also used my Craig jig to get my slots for my screws, where this will be attaching to the frame, and we'll go over that in a minute. This is the right side that have the slots cut out. I use a keyhole saw to cut out, I believe it's 1 3/8 and 7/8 holes for the power source cord and the input output jacks. And we'll go over that later. So this is a 4-inch rise down to a 1-inch on a 16-inch piece of wood, because the overall board 24 inches long, 16 inches wide. You get fixing to the size of the board in this fashion to give you that 7-degree angle for comfort of use. Okay? So that's what I've got done so far. I'll try to give you a little close-up on what the Craig jig does. It makes these slotted slots that your screws can go into, so that you get a very nice finish, so that when you do attach your front to your sides on your frame, the screws go in to those slots, don't come out the side, and the finished product won't have any screws that are visible on the outside of the frame, making it very much more attractive. So that's what I got so far. The next process is I'm going to put the frame together, and I'm going to go ahead and affix the top to it, the Velcro, see if there's anything else I need to do cosmetically to make it more appealing. And then the hardware should be here. The hardware should be here soon. It'll accommodate all the pedals that you would probably ever need. So without further ado, I'm signing off, and I will get back to you on the next part of the video from Assembly. Now let me know. Hey y'all! Oh no, that's a different show. Hey guys, we're back with the pedal board build, and I'm going to show you the finished result. So here's the patina top, the redwood sides that we told you about. We've added some rubber feet, and ran the electronics with the pedal power 2 by Voodoo. Here's our side mount, AC input output, the 2 jacks. And this is it. Oh, and then remember, you guys, I told you about the graffiti out the bathroom wall for my logo. They're Bad Dad pedal boards. You want one? Call us and we will make one for you.